I've got to say that Remington was about the only company that took us serious. They built the rifles in the custom shop, and from December of '65, when we received the first test rifles, until April of '67, when they were employed in the field. It's probably one of the quickest turnarounds on selecting a firearm to be used. And I've got to say that those rifles saved many, many Marines' lives. We were exceptionally enthusiastic about receiving the Remington 700. It was such an improvement over the other rifles that we had, and we were able to do a much better job of training. It was truly a godsend.
I've crawled through the dirt with it. I've been on dives with it. It becomes a very close friend of yours. It's kind of a special relationship. The thing between a sniper and his rifle. You take care of it above yourself.
It's like air. If I can't depend on it at the most critical of moments, then I might as well not have gone on that mission. And it's not your life that's really the one in danger. You're obviously, I'm not a hunter, but a lot of assaults are initiated by a sniper. So there might be a threat outside an area that needs to be reduced before some other guys, good forces, can get in there. And if your gun doesn't take that threat down and those guys are going in, absolutely critical. You gotta have it. It's like air.
You beat these guns up. No environment is more trying than a combat environment, whether you're jumping with a rifle and you land on the rifle, or whether it falls down some stairs because your whole unit just got hit by a rocket-propelled grenade and it hit the stairs and you're all falling down the stairs and you're carrying the rifle. Well, guess what? It's going to bounce off some things. We try to engineer these things to be as robust as possible, and we take pride in that because you will never slug this thing through. When you're hunting, you'll take a certain degree of difficulty, but this has to be able to perform in every climate and every place, just like the Marine Corps and him. Everywhere from a jungle to the desert to the Arctic, this gun has to perform.
The M40 rifle was used in Vietnam, and the conditions were terrible. The rain during the monsoon season, I think we went 69 days without seeing the sun. It rained every day, 3 times a day. You never even had a dry t-shirt to wear. Then the rifles functioned flawlessly during that period of time. We had some difficulties with the scope and the humidity, but we had no difficulties at all with the Remington 700.
As long as you keep, some tape on the bolt and all the good stuff while you're humping it in. I've seen those things caked in mud. Do a quick wipe off and it'll still shoot. You're stalking, you're dragging it through, hopefully it's inside your bag, but sometimes it happens and it gets just completely caked up and nasty, but it'll shoot. And maybe that's one of the benefits of having that bolt gun. The M40 or the Remington 700, I've seen that thing jumped in, humped in, dropped off the side of a cliff, and actually, and I was telling you about this one, I actually saw it in condition 1. I don't know what that means to the rest of the world, but what that means to us is that there's a live round in the chamber, bolt forward, locked, weapon on safe, but it got hit by a train in Iraq. We saw the M40 get hit by a train, and it got knocked off the embankment, and it was fine.
Well, no one really wanted to tell me because I was in charge and I didn't know about it at the time. From what I am told, the first question was, well, I wonder if it still shoots. It still has its zero. It wasn't visibly broken, but it got basically hit by the train and spun around and spun off into the side. So they wanted to apply it. So the first thing, they get behind the gun, they put a round in, and they check it out. And it retained its zero. It was used throughout the rest of the deployment. Nobody wanted to tell me until after I had retired that had happened, because I probably would have been a bit upset. With one of the key elements, especially of a force reconnaissance unit, is that you always have your hand on your weapon, and you always know where it is, and you never leave a weapon lying about, especially in a combat situation. But I understand now that that's what happened, but the gun survived, and the gun, built by the Precision Weapons shop at Quantico, but using our fire control and our action, no problems. It's probably still in an armory somewhere performing its job.
When I was in the military, that's what we crawled around with because it worked. It is absolutely imperative, whether you're a hunter or you're a sniper on a battlefield somewhere, that the rifle you're using functions. I've gotten home after crawling around in the swamps and whatever, doing military stuff, and come to find out I've been chewing up grass and dirt and mud, just jamming it in there. It kept firing and kept going. Got home, took a water hose to it almost, and cleaned it out. I've been on dives with the Remington 700, and I'm talking about, the thing about diving, most of the time you try and waterproof your gear. Nothing's waterproof, so very often when you get to where you're going, you find out your bag with your radios in it, your bag with your sniper rifle in it, it's completely flooded, it's been exposed to salt water for 18, 20 hours. Didn't have to worry about the Remington 700. Got it out, maybe kind of, rinsed it off with a canteen or something a little bit, and went to town with it,
Marine Corps tests their firearms, the firearms that they put in the hands of the troops, extensively. And I can't imagine that they would ever put a firearm in the hands of the troops that there was a possibility of a malfunction of that firearm. An accidental discharge when you're in the middle of the Ashaw Valley could be your death knell. And we certainly wouldn't even think about putting our men in that environment.
When you're talking, in the sniper, we're talking hundreds, if not thousands of rounds a year going through these rifles. You can see the scale of reliability and opportunities for things to go wrong. So I think that it reinforces our overall reputation as a reliable manufacturer who has not had any issues with its action, its barrels, its fire controls. Over time, also through guns that are being shot a lot more by the U.S. military than by our hunting audience. I will not let a gun go out that I am not fully comfortable with, because I know how important it is that at that critical juncture that a guy's tool doesn't work. It doesn't matter how important or not important the job may seem at the time. A firearm is a job that when it has to work, it really has to work.